a huge magnitude 6.4 earthquake has struck the Aegean area of Greece, south of Crete, towards the distance between Crete and Israel. It has shaken the whole area of South Aegean, including Israel. The Greek island of Rhodes, popular destination for tourists, and the weather here is still very beautiful. You can go swimming during the day. This area suffered from a tremor overnight. European Mediterranean Seismology Center has stated that it's 6.4 magnitude, even though USGS has it at 6. So far, there have been no reports of any injuries or casualties from this earthquake, but the shock waves were reportedly felt across the Mediterranean, in Turkey, Egypt, Syria, Israel, and according to the European EMSC, the epicenter of the quake was about 136 miles south of the island of Rhodes. We'll take a look at the shake maps and also the deformation in the area. This is an area where we had a lot of the huge earth, 5.3, 5.3, 5.5, 6.3, the 6.5. They seem to be getting bigger, and we know that this is an arc of volcanic islands in that area. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Here we are at Seismo Berkeley, and this is what they have it as at 6 and south of Carpathos, south of Rhodes. Of course, it's not a 6. European Geological Services have it at 6.4. But anyway, we're going to look at the shake map. This is an area where we have the volcanic arc, as we said, and it's the area where the African plate is slamming and going underneath the Eurasian plate, Europe and Asia. And this is the location of it. This is Israel right there. And this whole area has felt it. This whole area has felt it. Let's look at the shake map now. USGS, of course, cuts it off at this area, but you can see if you extrapolate the shake lines, Cyprus has been shaken, the South Turkey has been shaken, the Aegean Islands shaken, and of course this area here, northern Libya, Africa, Egypt, and of course Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Cyprus, and South Turkey. And going back to the topographic, okay, this is it, Benghazi, Libya, Alexandria, Egypt, and Gaza, Lebanon, Israel, Syria, Turkey, and the Aegean Islands, Crete. And this is what the area of what we had before. We had, just last week, we had a 6-point-something earthquake around, first of all, we had earthquakes around here, then we had them around here. They seem to be moving to the east, but this is the volcanic arc right here. This is the island of Santorini right there. Let's go in a little bit. You see that caldera shape right there. And all these islands have hot spring baths because they have magma underneath. We have hot spring baths in Kos, in Nisyros, in Rhodes, and they've been there since antiquity, since before Christ. Okay, even people from Egypt would be coming to Nisyros for hot spring baths for their various ailments. Now let's go to the let's go to the details. If you want to see a little bit about the details, it's opening up. Okay, here, and it's one of the worst seismic areas in the world. It's moving about 4 to 10 millimeters a year. African plate into the Eurasian plate. The modern day remnant of the Tethys Sea is the Mediterranean, and it's closing up. The highest rates of seismicity in the Mediterranean found in this Hellenic subduction zone right there, along with the northern Anatolian fault right there. Now, this thing with this huge earthquake, these big earthquakes, they rattle the area. Okay, we have the La Palma volcano off the west coast of Africa going off. Canary Islands right there. To the west of that, the newer volcanic islands. God forbid if we have, volcanic activity in one of these things, because this is, as we said, a volcanic arc. all these islands, a lot of these islands are volcanoes in Greece. So local high rates of conversion, Hellenic subduction zone, 35 millimeters a year. So that's pretty fast. Okay, and here they go into various big quakes that we've had. Let's go to the Geodesy so that you can see some movement. What's happening there? I just had a comment from a lady from the United States saying that the beaches in her area are, the water is declining and it's getting shallower. Well, that happens because the seafloor underneath could be rising. Okay, now let's take it. This is the ANAV. This area right here is just south of Athens. Okay, ANAV, and you can see it's going east, it's going southeast, and it's sort of seasonal to steady. Okay, keep this in mind. This area is moving southeast. This is the geodesy map of everything in the world, all the GPS stations in the world. You can see what's happening in your area. Let's go to here. So this was moving southeast. Let's go to this one here. This is going southeast as well. Let's go to something around this thing here in Bulgaria. This is not going southeast. This is going northeast and sort of declining, subsiding. Northeast, southeast, northeast, southeast. Let's go to areas around the Aegean, the middle of the Aegean. Naxos Island, this is going southeast, and it's subsidence. That's why a lot of the areas in the southern Aegean, the sea level is rising because of the subsidence of the seafloor underneath. Okay, let's go to this area here, Kalymnos, where we had, this is going southeast and sort of steady. Let's go to one of the things in Cyprus. This is not going southeast, this is going northeast. Okay, and it's seasonal, it's going every which way. Okay, so these are going southeast, these are going northeast. So what's happening there? Is that bulging? This is the area of our earthquake. So if this is going southeast and this is going northeast, that means that this area in the middle, what's happening to cause this going southeast and this going northeast? It means that something like a balloon is causing this to come up. What about Alexandria, Egypt? Okay, that's going northeast, and that's really a big subsidence since 2012, since 2008. Subsidence there. Subsidence, because it's heading underneath the Eurasian plate. Subsidence. Let's go to Cairo. Okay, this is going northeast and a little bit of everywhere. Okay, northeast and subsidence here, as we saw before. Let's go to Israel, because we know that we have the Transjordanian fault, which is one of the huge fault lines of the area. And we have the prophecy in the book of Revelation, the Apocalypse, that that's where the big earthquake is going to take place. It's going to split the Kidron Valley between the Mount of Olives, which is opposite of Jerusalem. And that's exactly where that is. It runs this way through the Dead Sea, through the River Jordan into Galilee. Galilee, we know, is a volcanic crater lake. Okay, now let's go here. What's happening here? It's not too good, but it's going northeast. Let's take another one. A little bit up towards Lebanon. It's going northeast, and a little bit of an increase. Let's go a little bit more south, close to Jerusalem. It's going northeast, and ooh, look at that! Look at that! That wow. Okay, I haven't seen that. That's in Jerusalem. It's inflating. Let's take one around Galilee. That's not inflating. That's not a good graph. Let's go in a little bit more. I'm sure they have a lot more GPS stations there. Tiberias. Okay, Nazareth. Nazareth it's going northeast, and it's pretty seasonal, steady. Nazareth and Tiberias, the Sea of Galilee. That's not good. Okay, that's not a good graph. Let's take one here in Jordan. That's going northeast, and that's not a good graph either. It seems to be going all over the place. Let's take one on the other side of the, okay, that's going northeast, and that again is inflating. So around Jerusalem, the land is inflating. Let's take one around the Jordan River here, northeast, and all over the place. Inflating, deflating. Let's take one at Eilat, northeast, and pretty steady to inflating. So you can see there's movement here. Alexandria is subsiding, even though it's going northeast. And then we said these things here are going southeast, okay, northeast and southeast, and we took one around here, Cyprus. I used to live in Cyprus until I was 8 years old before we moved to Canada. Okay, this is showing subsidence, but it's going northeast, whereas this one here was going southeast, okay? So you can see that they're subsidence, southeast, northeast. What's causing that? There's a bulge where we had today's earthquake. Where are we? Here. Okay, that's the area. So there's a lot of movement going on there. These GPS stations plot the daily and monthly and the yearly graphs of the movement of the Earth in that area. So, one lady left a comment why the sea level is dropping in her area, because of the fact that if you're living, let's say, on the West Coast, you have inflation there. You have a deformation, and it's rising because the landmass is rising underneath, the seafloor is rising. So the water must be going somewhere else, like a bathtub when you make waves, you know, it goes this way and that. So this is what's happening today. Like we said before, or last week when we had the 6.3 around here, 6.5, we said hopefully that will be the major quake, but we don't know. These are pretty big. They seem to be getting bigger every few days. God forbid. God forbid. Because if this thing goes off, here, the Anatolia fault goes off, that always gives strike-slip fault, that's a strike-slip fault. And if you hear the hypersonic sound, supersonic sound of an earthquake, you have to take cover. You're going to have 2 seconds to take cover, because it's that type of an earthquake is so massive that it can pulverize concrete in a reinforced concrete building, which are supposed to be seismic proof. Okay, but in that type of God forbid if that goes off, because you could see it here. It goes off this way, one goes into this area, and the other one goes into this area, into Athens, Greece, which has half the Greek population, over 5 million people. Okay, so please leave your comments. Thank you for your support, and all of you on the West Coast and wherever you live. Look, we've even had strong quakes in Poland for some odd reason. Okay, so please be careful wherever you live. And thank you for your comments and your support. Thank you.